back to the Dion Gaming channel. Today I actually want to talk about something that I always wanted to try out, but I couldn't try it out because I wasn't 400 or 400. But now that I quit the game and I want to try out every new builds and stuff like that, a different meta and stuff like that, I'm gonna get the chance to do that. So here it is. This is gonna be the new meta for Druid. The reason I wanted to try this out is because long ago I tried this and it did not work. And let me actually explain you why it did not work. The healing cast for this is actually 29%. So the healing cast of if you actually press B, I didn't pick it up, I should have picked it up. The healing cast for a mage robe, if you were using a mage robe, would basically be like 50 something percent plus whatever you have here. So 50% plus 8%, 58%. If you're using the fiend cow, which is in my video, you're gonna get 45% plus 8%, so it's 53%. And again, if you're using the druid, you're at the lowest because of the obsessive birth that gives you more healing when you pop it. You're at 44%. Again, with the aggression is 48%. So why is this going to be the new meta? And I'm going to say it right now. It's going to be the new meta when someone reaches a fucking high level. Okay? Now, one other thing is that I actually noticed is that when Darth wanted to try out a curse build with his chest and stuff like that, like Stalker chest and a curse AoE, and it got buffed. The stand time is now 0 for the AoE. He's gonna come out with a video about that with tanking set, but we did it with a leather, and basically we were doing the 2-man runs and we were clearing shit like nothing. Like it was awesome build for it. However, nobody else could have done it, and I had Discord people telling me that I can't do this, and the reason they can't do it is because I tell them, you saw the video, right? He's actually 200 out of 400 specs. So when you increase yourself beyond the level of a normal set, so if you're actually 400 set spec right now on your heals and stuff like that, your heal is much higher and compensate for something that you were not. So before, you maybe not many good heals because of the you're like 50 specs and that's it, 50 out of 400. Well, now that you're big, you can now customize your chests or your other builds, except your helm. Your helm still has to stay graveguard. Without the graveguard, there is no fucking druid. I keep telling that for everybody, so people actually fight me until they fucking lose. Your graveguard is actually your second emergency heal. You're going to be keeping that. But in this video, I'm going to keep the same thing. I'm going to keep the same energetic that I do for dungeon run. I actually use this for PvP, or when I'm running away, I use the hit and run. And we are going to use the same energetic because you're going to be attacking. This is going to be micromanagement intensive. And I want to put that ahead of time because people who fucking don't know how to do this, like watch the video on the left while playing the game on the right, sometimes cannot master something. So this is going to be micromanagement intensive. You have to know when to use all your abilities beside everything, and then you have to calculate how much damage your tank is getting, how everyone is getting, plus when to use your ability, because you have to watch what they're fucking doing. So let me put this ahead. If you're a guy who can't handle heal or anything like that, or is not good at healer, skip this video. But if you're a guy who is willing to push yourself beyond the limits of a normal healer, then keep watching this video. So when you actually become higher spec, maybe you want to level up your chest or a leather chest, which I don't have big. If you actually look at my thing up here, I don't have big. What I did is I used all my arena books and stuff like that, and I leveled up my Tome Fighter with the specs and with the fame credit that I got. I got like a 1.2 mil, I think, for using everything that was 100 of 100 in auto respec, which it should be somewhere around fucking here or there, or somewhere around here. So here's the thing is, this is what is going to change. You're going to be using the Royal Deck jacket, and you're going to be using the Moizak. Now that you have a good amount of heals, you can't sacrifice the cooldown from a Mist Caller. Mine is actually 15% for Mist Caller on all my ability. Here's other things that you have to keep in mind. Ability cost reduction is not actually cost reduction for this. It means that this doesn't cost less. Ability cost reduction with another negative onto it, which is negative 13%, is showing you that this is how much you're going to have to pay. You're going to pay for all your ability 13%. So let me actually give you an example. This costs 67, bada bing bada boom. If I take this out, it costs 59. So all your ability will be increased by 13% of what it cost, okay? So that's another thing to keep in mind. But it's going to be negated by the energetic. So then you're going to be using the chest, and you're going to be using the royal banner, and that is going to be acting like a mist color. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to be able to heal someone, and then when you do, you're going to be actually maximized. You're, as a druid right now, my personal opinion, as a druid, you're the best of the best. You're better than a holy. Why? Because you bring to the table something that holies can't do, because they have to run, they have to heal and run, and druid has that. I mean, I'm pretty sure they probably can do it or something like that, but I have not seen anyone do it, so it's not a staple made up for everybody. So what's happening is that you're going to be healing yourself and someone else, and when you heal the tank, you give it that E, you give it that W, and then you run in with the rotten, reducing their resistance by 43. You're gonna run back after this runs, and then you're gonna be using this and start attacking the anybody else. If you feel like during that time someone is in danger, you're going to start healing them, and so on when this actually happens. Now, there's something cool about the royal chest that I always wanted to do this when me and Darth Magus and Iron were doing this. The thing is, Kaiten was using the royal chest, and Iron at one point, but he couldn't tank that well back then because the bosses were actually much stronger. He was using the royal chest. We were doing runs so much faster. Because of the royal chest, the boots was easily up for both of us, and we could coordinate of him using the boot first and I using the boost second. So during that time that this reduces the royal banner, you have to get used to something new, which is the cast time. That means if this is actually reduced to 50%, look at this. It's 1.3. That means you cast faster to everybody. So what is the new ability that is coming out that everybody's going, oh, it's so great? The what? Rejuvenation Breeze? Everybody gets stacks? Oh, well, guess what? I have Rejuvenation Breeze too, and and even though mine's much slower than yours, at least I'm using the regenerate the chest to reduce all the cooldown. But watch this. Basically, as soon as I hit this, look at his he's actually in a horse. Look at his stacks and look at my stack and look how quickly this happened. Because of the cooldown, I can actually do real quick 3 setup of heals and 3 setup for myself, and then go back and try to, like, you know, pretty much use my rods and boots and become more useful in the run. Now I can actually stack everybody to 3 very quickly because of the royal. So you're providing faster caster for yourself. You're providing more less cooldown on all of your building, including the rotten ground, and you're providing all cooldown on everybody else. Now I am sure one dickhead out there is going to come out of nowhere and to test this when their healer is really low. Listen, I did not test this when the healer is really low. I am only saying that when you actually reach higher spec, you can actually change some of the meta in the game. Something that you couldn't do before, you can do now. For example, nobody can tank T5 on leather and stuff like that, so they use a tank, right? Guess what? Iron is only 200 out of 400, and we have 2 dual runs, one on the axe and one on the curse staff, that he can actually tank the T5 dungeons like nothing, with no problem. So what this actually showing you is that when you reach the higher spec, start messing with builds and become better. So for the new meta, for myself, you're going to be using the Muizak, and you're going to want to have 11% or close to that. I have a video where the mist color was giving me a fucking background number display on this shit. It's going to be posted somewhere around here as well. And then it was giving me the wrong one as well for the ability and all of this thing up in here. You're going to be using this. You're going to be using the same cultist that I told you to use. You're going to be using the same Graveguard, the same Limhurst, the same whatever shit you want to use for Omelet, and the same Druid Staff with Rejuvenation, the same Protector Nature, the same Spiritual Seed, and the same Energetic. Roll a clip, please. Alright, so here it comes. The first thing I do is I test to see the item power difference, which is 1,103, and how much lower I'm going to get for tier 6 and stuff like that. So I'm not wearing big ass fucking gear like T7.2 or anything like that. So I see it, it's only a little bit, it's not that much, and then we continue. Now here's what happened. I made sure that the tank is always like a full health, or at least at 70%. If it goes below that, and I might be able to use my ENW. But again, During this time, it's very calm. It's going to be very calm, and we're going to be actually doing the thing. I'm not going to use my setup because these are trash. We don't use our big setup. Now here's it comes first. I'm going to be using, and I see that this guy, the Blazing Staff, goes ahead and fucking does the big AoE. So I want you to do more AoE. Here, half cooldown reduction. The guy interrupts. He does it again. Another Blazing Staff. And I'm like, wow, this is actually going to get good. I think this is going to work perfectly. So I don't see anyone else doing this. So obviously I'm going to fucking take credit. So again, he actually interrupts. I give him the E and W. I go ahead and use the rotting ground, and then I start attacking. And the reason I start attacking is because I need that energy back, and I need to stay above. During this run, I did not use one goddamn single potion, so I am quite proud of that. That it's actually like that. Again, he does his a Blazing Staff on the E. I try to get close to like using obviously all the cooldown, give him the ability to be able to do it again, and keep an eye on my cultist, my rotting ground. This is the first time I do this, so I have to get used to this. I have to know how much damage the tank is taking. I need to know when everyone is using all their abilities. I need to have energetic up and start attacking when I'm doing this. I need to keep all my cooldowns in a rotation, just like the way I had it before. So again, look, rotting ground, and now I use my chest and stuff like that so he can be able to do it again. Again, the problem with this thing is that people do tend to walk away from my from my chest, and I hope that you don't run into these type of groups that just walk away from the chest not knowing that, hey, I'm trying to reduce your goddamn cooldown. Which was actually quite hilarious during this run. So this video is going to be about 23 minutes. I'm sorry if it's a little long for you or anything like that, but it's going to be about 23 minutes. So I keep all the heals. Again, my cloak has not procced. These guys are, it's the same as a random dungeon tier 6, I think, because well, if it's in a black zone, you're going to have more power if you're using better gear, but if you're not using better gear, again, everyone is on the equal plane level on this place. So since you're not a tank, you don't have to worry about aggro or anything like that. Ooh, I think I lagged for a bit. You don't have to worry about aggro or anything like that. You just have to worry about healing everybody, learning when to use your rotting ground, and learning when to use your chest when you see people using ability. So back in the past, I looked at it and it's like, okay, so this guy's doing a 5.1 and stuff like that. And here's the thing is, in the past we had a Badon, and we had another tank because we didn't want to leave him behind. So what happened if I bring bring a Blazing Staff, a Badon, and a tank, and me? Oh my lord, the Badon will be able to use his E again. The Blazing Staff is going to be able to use the E again. We're going to be melting. And if I have a tank who is willing to use the cultist boots, because people don't want to use the cultist boots, even DPS, even though higher tier guild does use the cultist boots, and that's where I learned it. That's not something from me, by the way. I learned that top tier not Druid, top tier tank guild uses the cultist boots, and the DPS uses the cultist boots. The Druid, no, they don't use it. That's something that I started using because my tank didn't want to use it. So again, I looked at it, I'm like, holy god, this is it. The pinnacle of Druid. This is it. The Druid right now should be picked above a Holy Healer because of this. Unless a Holy Healer can do the same, the Druids is just going to be awesome for runs because they can provide more than a Holy Healer can. Again, the Druid is doing awesome in healing and stuff like that. But again, it providing the cultist boots because it's a mobile healer, it providing that cooldown reduction, and it's much better to have a Druid now because of it. The problem with this is, and pay the fuck attention, the problem with this is that because you don't have Fiend Robe, that you now are very vulnerable from you getting attacked. You can't push anybody away anymore, so you have to be very careful and set up your group in a basic form. So if you had someone like a scout, you don't really have to worry too much about it because he'll tell you if someone is coming in, and you guys run through the dungeon like a skip run and so on. So again, I looked at myself. I am very fucking proud. Cloak is still ready to be active and stuff like that. My heal is still pretty good. The tank is on the same level. I'm not even at 7.2 anyway, because it's going to be reduced. So if I go in a higher tier, I know for a fact that it's going to become much better because I have I would be able to utilize my 400 or 400 on my Druid staff. So again, in this video, I'm actually going to be showing what I'm showing you guys is this is possible as high tier. When you're a higher tier, you can basically change some of the spec that I couldn't use before. And we had the idea. Again, Druid was not picked for expedition. There is a video about that showing that Druid were hated. Druid were hated in expedition, so they didn't know everybody want to pick a holy, and you can actually see a video about that somewhere around here. I can link it or something like that. So there were no such thing as good druids out there or anything like that. Everybody had to go holy, and everybody went holy until they buffed druid, which again they give them the rebid after so much complaints that a holy staff was actually tier 5 is better than the 7.2 druid staff. So it got nerfed, but we didn't get any good buff, and now we're gonna get this breeze buff. But I don't think I'm going to like it. I think I'm gonna stick with the protective nature. If I was still playing the game, or if I'm still teaching players, I'm still gonna stick with the protective nature until I can see the thing. Which I called it before. The Revit was actually a fucking dumbass idea for pro player, but it's actually a great idea if you're actually starting as a newbie, because you can't use the protective nature. You have to get a little bit higher level for that. So again, over here, I see that he used his freaking which is I think it's what is it, tornado, blazing, something I don't know what it's called. But it's basically the tornado that deals a lot of damage to player or a good amount of damage to mobs. Again, I'm using the cultist sandals, and I am actually keeping the eye on everybody. I'm keeping the heal, the stack, and as I said, if I get in trouble, I can quick stack everybody. I can just quick stack 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, which can get very underwhelming, overwhelming if a player doesn't know that you're going to be casting 3 times very quickly. So again, I looked over here. I still have my my cloak to be popped up in there, and I can't wait to. Fuck! I quit this game. I can't wait to at least try this one time in a random dungeon with a core setup, and this is what I want. I want a Badan. I want a greater axe like Iron or Incubus. I want a blazing staff, and I want myself. And I want to go into a T5, T6 if I can without fucking dying or anything like that. By dying, I mean beginning dive, because it has gotten worse. And I want to test this out beautifully in there. But again, Morgana for this expedition is actually one of the hardest, and the hidden mines is one of the hardest. So this one is actually technically it's actually the hidden. I think it's it's Morgana. Sorry, this is the Morgana, and basically this is going to be the harder for that. I want to test this someplace in the Morgana for the random dungeon if I can, because it'll be the hardest test for it. Everything else is easy peasy in healing except the Morgana. Morgana gets a little bit in trouble. So again, in here it's the same way. If a tank doesn't have an interruption or don't have the right setup, it's going to be a little bit much harder. But again, we did so great in this run. I am so happy. Quote the sandals, and you know what? I'm just going to let it speak for itself now. I'm going to take a rest. I'm getting a little bit tired right now of speaking. Hey guys, welcome to the outro video. Again, I had to check if someone else did this before. I went to the Druid, I went to the Holy, I went to all that, and as you see, I have to put this specific video right here into it. Again, one more time, this is actually for high spec players. When you're a high spec player, start testing everything out that you want to test out. It's much different. You actually can tank more, you actually can heal better. So this is actually going to be the new meta, my personal opinion. And again, not everybody actually use Druid during the expedition because they use Holy, and there's a video about that. Not many people started doing the Druid until, again, my boy Captain Russia started making the video showing that nature is underwhelming, underperforming, and everybody started doing Druid. And during that time, right now, I'm actually going to go ahead and take credit about this build because nobody actually doing it. And I hope that somebody out there who is high-level Druid will start using it and give me some feedback. Anyway, if you like my channel, subscribe, like, share, all that crap, and I'll see you on the next video. Until Hightail comes, and you're never going to see me in Albion. God damn it.